Awesome. Hope you guys are doing well. This session is about answering your questions. If you have any questions, just type on the host and panelist so only I can see if you type your host and panelist. Cool. Anyway, so let's get started right now. Hope you guys are doing incredibly well. We are at the middle of February right now. So let's just share my screen. Or we are in February. So whenever we start doing anything, we literally start by filtering through the stocks for those who are new. You can see this is 1984, 1987, 2007. So this S&P 500, no matter what you do, whether you want to buy any individual stocks, like Bruno, you're trying to buy individual stocks. Before we buy individual stocks, you kind of have to look at this first to see if it is nice, then you do it straight away. When you look at S&P 500, write it down, you're actually looking at technology stocks because almost 50% of the S&P 500 is for technology sector. When you're looking at this, you're actually looking at financial sector, you're looking at communication sector, you're looking at all of these stocks, yeah? So these are the main one, yeah? Normally when S&P 500 goes up, a lot of these technology stocks will go up, like a lot of these like semiconductors, the technology stocks like Apple went up big time today. Apple went up big time today because they are launching a glasses, like they're talking about launching a glasses where you like something like that. The financial sectors, assets like Meta Glass and the financial sectors. So that's what normally happen. But when S&P 500 goes up, a lot of these sectors it tends to go up. But when S&P 500 drop a little bit, usually the defensive stocks tends to go up. This is like your consumer defensive. These are things that tends to go up. Your sorry, yeah, your energy, your utilities as well. So they go a real estate as well. They go like sideways a little bit. So usually that's what happened. Yeah. So when we say, oh, let's build a portfolio that is recession proof, for example. Okay, let's build a portfolio where when the market crash big time, my stock is not going to crash so much. And those portfolio will be your real estate portfolio, your utilities portfolio, your energy, your basic material, or even healthcare sometimes. Yeah. When they say let's build a portfolio, this portfolio is so this for a lot of hedge funds, a lot of my friends, a lot of banks, a lot of our students, where once they are on the place of financial, like once they build out their portfolio financial freedom, this is what a lot of our students do. We actually don't recommend them to sell stocks. Whenever they sell stock, you have to put your money into work straight away. You kind of, oh, let me just transfer into like some cheaper sectors, for example. Like let's go into a utility sectors, for example, if it is cheap. Let's go to real estate sectors if it is cheap. Yeah. So from very overvalue, they're going to undervalue. And when it crash big time, where everything's gonna crash, during a market crash, usually everything will crash down but it's just that this is gonna crash a little bit lesser. Okay. And then what happened? And then we ask our students once the crash finishes, once we're at the bottom, you're using our 8 step. Once we're at the bottom, then we go back into these technology sectors. We go back into these communication sectors. Go back into these financial sectors because those are tends to change your life. When you aim at the bottom. Yeah, so that's kind of what happened, and it's exactly what we did. For the past 3 weeks, past 2 weeks as well. We asked our students to get into like let me see. Like Lena, like GBP. Where is it though? Yeah, like last week we asked our students, not last week, like some time ago, because of seasonality, if you remember, on the step two training or week two training on the step two, we talk about what? We talk about a lot of these things. Oops. Not sure what's happening. Just give me a minute here. And I'm just gonna go through some recording real quick, see if I can find it. If I can't find it, then it's fine. Do 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 do. It's a bit laggy. Just give me a minute. Ooh, it's not actually playing. That's interesting. Not sure. Anyway, ooh, ooh, ooh. Let me just see one more time. Which one? It's a bit tricky. Oh, probably this. This is the different. This is kind of like a one-to-one session, but let's have a look. I don't think so. It's playing, unfortunately. It's fine. Anyway, so where are we? So yeah, so like for example, 13 days ago, one-to-one sessions as well. We asked our students to short GBP against US dollar and to buy like some real estate stocks because when we go through, we talk about interest rate coming down, we talk about the policy wanting the orders for real estate stocks has been doing quite nicely as well. Like Lena, like GBP, like DR Hortons as well. And that's what happened. So if I go back like GBP against US dollar, for example, um, let's see. So let's make it nice. So you go to weekly chart, you can see that this has been around here like that. Or you could draw a downtrend. Let me just remove. Step two, draw a downtrend. You draw from the top, kind of like that. Yeah, just a little bit like that. So every time it bounces off, this is tends to get bounced. So that's just where we were the other day. Or you can put here the support here. Sorry, the resistance is anything at the top. So let me just draw it a little bit just right there. Yep. So bounce up a little bit, scaring people off, and then start to come down quite a little bit nicely as well. Some of our students, if they don't short this is fine. You can change your pound sterling into dollar. Yeah, because pound sterling is like in how many years high? Let me have a look. It's like in 10 years high since 2017. Actually, since 2016. Yep, 10 years high like that. So coming back down like that. Yep, slowly as well. It's not going to come down like a straight line. Forex, I've never seen Forex come down like a straight line. You so usually go up a little bit, come down a little bit like that. Yeah, and we check with our seasonalities as well. Whenever you want to buy something, you definitely want to go to our website. Just UK and you just type the season there, or you can just go on here and let's have a look real quick. Because the best way or the guarantee way to not lose money is just by converting your money. So you can convert your trading to one, to you can convert on IBKR, you even convert on Vice.com. If it bounce back up again, not entirely sure what's going on with things. It's not really loading properly. Uh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's see. Wow, I'm just trying to find the charts. Maybe it's this one. Not sure. Anyway, um, why is it not loading very much properly? Let's go to my website and see what's going on. Do, 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 do. Okay, you know what? Um, let's see. Cool. Nice, Neil. We are doing well. Hmm. I'm trying to show you the seasonality of pound sterling against US dollar. That's what I'm trying to do, but I can Google it. Just type seasonality like that. Just to show, sometimes if you want to know what's gonna happen, this is one of the best way to know it. So you can see Pound sterling against US dollar, usually in February time, pounds tends to go down against US dollar. Yeah, hence we talked about this last 2 weeks ago. So it tends to come down and it kind of stop coming down like I would say March or February, sorry, March or middle of um what is this? Yeah, March or middle of March. And then you rally back up a little bit, like a pullback and before it goes down forever. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. So your pound sterling is actually very lucky right now because your pound is the highest high in history. What about compared to euro? Let's have a look. So you can go to America right now. Let me have a look. Um, euro is quite low. Okay. Wow. Euro is even stronger. So let's go to euro US dollar. Euro is super strong. Euro is super strong. So GBP against GBP against EUR. Okay, like that. Okay, Euro is kind of in the middle like that against pound sterling, but it's just against US dollar then. All right, that's fine. So coming back. Yeah. So in February, yep, just coming down a little bit and then you pull back up. So there's a whole April coming back down. And then for the whole year, pound just get lower and lower. So if you want to hold your pound, you probably hold your pound in like, so this is what we're gonna do. This is what, so we convert our pound to US dollar. I personally have done. And then in middle of March, we're gonna use the US dollar that we have converted to buy some stocks. Okay. So that's kind of how things like. And I would be like, oh, what's gonna happen like that? So you can even buy in May because your pound is so high. Anyway, so that's just what looks like, and then it just come down like that. So pound just get lower. If you really want to hold your pound again, it will just be end of March, like middle of March to April, and then probably like January only. Wow, it's crazy. So March, April, January. The rest you don't really need the pound. This is why, for those people who are not in our training, you know, if they own any US stocks, let me see. If they own any US stocks, okay, that's fine. Anyway, yeah, okay. Pound US stocks. Okay. Yeah. So if you own US stocks, you will make money both ways. Okay. So we talk about, to make money, you need two things to happen. You need your currency that you bought to go up, and you want your stock to go up. Okay. So a lot of people who are as a foreign investor, if you invest in like US stocks, if your pound is not if your pound is getting stronger, which what happened last year, you're not going to make any money. Yeah. While a lot of our students, one-to-one students, they're very smart. We told them first they own IGUS. So if they own IGUS, then if a pound gets stronger, you make money in pound, and you also. So let me show you so you can see. So for example, let's say the stock went up like, I don't know, 20%, make it easier, okay? Or even 40%, make it easier, okay? Went up 40%. So when it went up 40%, as a foreign investor, that means if you are British or you are UK residents. So that means you're using your pound. So if you use your pound to buy like Tesla, whatever that is, S&P 500, whatever that is, you have to convert your money to US dollar, isn't it? So when you convert your money to US dollar, so let's say the stock went up 40%, but because US dollar was falling the other day, like last year, you would fall around 12%, 50%. So in reality, you are actually, if you just do that, you never make money, okay? Because the US dollar was going down. But a lot of our strong students, what they do, or our one-to-one students, what they do, our apprentices, for example, they went up 40% like that. And this is the stock, but not on top of that as well. They also make money in terms of the forex and those of the currency. So they plus another 12% like that. In total, they gave them even more. That's kind of what happened. Yeah. So that is kind of what happened, which is quite beautiful as well. Cool. Vish, the answer is no. Now the next one is yeah, so what about right now? What about this year? This year you can definitely convert to US dollar because our pound was super high. Okay. So you can make money both ways. When US dollar went up, let's say went up 15%, even though your stock doesn't make any money, you are still making at least 15% just like that. Yeah, if your stock went up like 200%, you just plus that as a bonus as well. Yeah, or even 300%, you just plus that as a bonus. So well done. Cool. Now the next part that I want to talk about is yeah, so that's what happened. So yeah, students will get on them as well. You talk about Lena, we talk about DR Horton, Occidental Petroleums as well, and GBP against US dollar, just up a little bit, just right there. Yeah. So yeah, I converted quite a lot on IBKRs as well, like two weeks ago. So if you are you late to do it now? Let's have a look. GBP against USD. You kind of want to wait for the pullback a little bit if it pulls back. Yeah, so pull back a little bit, but it's not much of a difference. Pulling back a little bit, and then yeah, and then and then you keep your US dollar, and then you can use the US dollar to buy US stocks, which is because if you don't change now, you also have to change it later anyway. If you want to buy stocks later, it's just whether you want to change now, you change it later. Yeah, makes sense. Because whenever you buy Tesla, you have to change your money. Whenever you buy some stocks, you have to change your money anyway. Anyway, so that's kind of what happened. And so let's talk about what happened to the stock market right now. Some people ask me about Bitcoin and stuff like that. Let's talk about them as well. So, first of all, our market has been doing exactly what we have talked about. Has been following our eight-step trading strategy really quite beautifully as well. So if you look at it carefully, go to our website again. Just go to benhung.co.uk. And then let's click on one of these things. Let's see if it comes up. Anyway, let's see if I want to seasonality. It's not really showing. So let's see. So you can see in February time. Let me see which one to look at. Anyway, we can look at this. In February time, um, people will be like, "Oh, there's a lot. Which one should I look at?" You can look at the whole thing, or you can just look at midterm election. So any is quite fine, but they're all pretty similar. Yeah, just a little bit dissimilar, but the rest are pretty similar. So maybe we can look at this. Cool. So you can see this is kind of what happened. We're kind of this is a 10 years. 10 years is not long enough. We want to be longer, like 20 years, like 50 years. So let's see if there's anything longer. But anyway, so January has been like that, and then kind of February time is kind of like a bit the seasonality wise using our step two of our $1 million strategy. You can see things just there's a correction there a little bit. Yeah, there's a correction there. Cool. So which is kind of what happened a little bit just right here. So since whatever that is February time, in middle of February, it's coming back down a little bit just right there. Um, so it will be nice. I will be adding a little bit of positions when we are at this support just right here. Yeah, so even though the things are coming down, our stocks like the one we talk about are still doing quite okay, quite well. Like the Lena a little bit. It's been going up, even the things coming down. SP 500 is coming down. The TR Horton a little bit. It's coming up like that as well. Okay, cool. So yeah, so that's kind of what happened. Just waiting for a really nice time here. So this would just be an September October time. This is an okay time. If market crash down from here to here, from 7,000 to 6,500, we are having around 7 to 8% discount. Okay, with that, you can buy some big cap individual stocks. Okay, but when it drops more than 10% a little bit, if it did, then we can get into like individual, even smaller stocks to make even bigger amount. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. So very excited for our apprentices as well. So because last time, actually most of the time, uh, these kind of happen almost every single year. And last time that happened was just was just in February time, around 20th of February 1917, it came down a little bit. And this is an 18% drop. So 18% drop kind of fits our criteria nicely. 6th of April. Even you aim just right here, you are fine. You just have to be bad. Bad is gonna go down a little bit. And then you get up like that. Even if you boy here is fine. You just bear that a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of students in the bottom, obviously, really nicely. One of the key sign is the volume spike. Is a volume spike. Okay. So let's go back. So step two, you draw your support and resistance line. So our resistance is anything at the top here. Our support is just right here. Oh, is it okay to buy here? Is it okay to buy now, which is buy here? Unless you're buying like if you because of Trump being in place, because of China's and all of that, and because Trump is gonna be here for like 2 more years, I think because he's here, so some sectors tends to do well. The first sectors I talked about before, obviously, is gonna be AI sectors. But AI sectors, we can't just buy AI like that. AI sectors, you definitely have to buy during a when we get into a extreme fear situation or when we get into a market crash situation, because AI stocks is too high growth. So if you buy now, you're gonna get crashed big time. You can't just buy it like that. So that's the first thing. AI sectors. The second sectors is also gonna do well during Trump policy is also going to be a war sectors. A lot of your like wars, a lot of your like defensive like war sectors. So if there's any pullback and buying a little bit of wars is kind of fine because Ukraine is not settled yet and maybe China and Taiwan maybe there's going to be something you never know. And yeah, there's so many dramas going on, and you never really know what he's gonna say the next day. So yeah, so wars like this is quite nicely. So what are the example of war? Rolls-Royce, for surprisingly, is actually UK war thing. Rolls-Royce, and you can see ever since when it was that. Ever since like April time, some students got in as well. Five, almost double like that as well. Yeah, but you kind of want to wait for the pullback. It's a bit crazy right now. Yeah, and this is just in started to do well since Trump was in place. What else do we have? Babcock this as well. This is based in the UK. I'm just telling you the UK first. Internationals as well. So you can see ever since the war happened or whatever that is, like where's yeah, January time. Don't really. Yeah, just pull back a little bit, just like that. I kind of want this to be at the lowest historical kind of PE ratio. So when you want to buy, you definitely want to read the earning guidance of them. Yeah, read the earning guidance to see how much is their growth rate. You want to buy with the one that is kind of like have the what of the highest growth rate. Really read the guidance properly. They will tell you. They literally tell you. They say, "I we got this money from from this government contract for whatever billions of amount, and we think it's gonna last until whatever that is. Yeah, 3 years, 2 years." They tell you in there as well. Whereas we have RTX. There are a lot about students owns as well. Is it RTX? Um, yeah. So it's kind of a bit of wars, kind of things. A bit overextended. Obviously, we don't get in now. We get in during, look at the seasonality a little bit. And yeah, we get in when we pull back, at least getting back to our lowest or an average P/E ratio line. Yeah. Go to look at the historical P/E ratio of these people. Or you can just buy the whole ETFs of defensive stocks and you make even more money. Um, or the war, yeah, ETFs yeah, cool. So that's kind of happening. So the first one is a kind of technology. Second is kind of real estate a little bit, and then utilities because we need a lot of energies right now. For AI to happen, we need energy, and and yeah, and a little bit of wars as well. So this kind of like a four sectors kind of tends to do well during the policy kind of Trump area. Yeah. So we would obviously we're not gonna get in now. A lot of people say, "Oh, buy now, buy now." We're gonna get in during when we check the seasonality really beautifully. If you haven't got in yet, a lot of our students already got in many years ago. A lot of these I own a lot of these things in my portfolio, and a lot of our apprentices as well. But if you haven't got in yet, definitely wait for the extreme fear. So a lot of these is gonna have some discount going on. Okay, cool. So that's kind of what happens as well. What else? Um, so let's go back here. So we were just drawing step two and step three a little bit. So this is the top. This is the so this is support, and we have another support just right here. This support could bounce potentially, but in order for us to have a really beautiful bounce, we definitely need some volume spike. I told you in the step five reversal strategy. So we have a volume spike here. You can see this is just in 20th of November. Coming back down, a bit of volume spike. You add a bit of positions and went up nicely. Now, a lot of people think this is the bottom. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you, this is not the bottom. Yes, it might correct a little bit, it might go up a little bit, but this is not the bottom of the market. It's going to come down a little bit more. Same thing with Bitcoin. A lot of people say Bitcoin is the bottom. Whenever it falls, even to like to 80 and stuff like that. Um, if you kind of get into Bitcoin in the middle already, then you are like, but a lot of our students sold their Bitcoin if they joined me a lot earlier. They just sell it at the extreme greed time. Okay. You can sell it on extreme greed time. Um, Even if you go to a lot of brokers like eToro, their monthly metrics, I showed you the other day, the monthly metrics of eToro, the monthly metrics of a lot of retail traders stuff. When you see they peak or when they're at the bottom, usually it's a sign for reversal for the stocks as well. Yeah, we talked about it two kind of like 2 weeks ago. Each of the websites like eToro, even Trading 212, they have monthly metrics going on. How many people are trading? How many people are selling? If you look at the bottom, if you look at the top, you get to see where's the reversal happen. So we and that's to help you to add on in terms of crypto. Yeah. So right now, as you talk about in for crypto, we do need out of you've been doing this. I've been seeing crypto for so long. One of the youngest guy. If you type my name on YouTube. In 2017. People interview me. Let me see if I can find it very quickly. Just to talk about Bitcoin. Or even when you talk about Bitcoin, it's kind of like a diversifying a portfolio a little bit. So that's kind of what happened. Where is it? Yeah, like this is literally me, like self-made in London. This is like 8 years ago, watching the UK. Yeah, I've been interviewed by people from Russia, so it's crazy. This is so many years ago when Bitcoin wasn't even a thing. 8 years, how much is that? Now it's 2016. That's 2018, 16, 17. It's like 8 years, like crazy, long time ago. Yeah. Yeah. So long time ago. So we used to have like a lot of like in person and stuff after Corona, changing everything to what to online, which is nice as well. But yeah, we're definitely gonna have some celebration event this year as well if we have a really beautiful market market crash the summer this year. All right, in London. Cool. So anyway, coming back. what was I talking about? So we talking about Bitcoin. When how do we know whether it's the bottom? The really important part is to look at the volumes as well. Yeah. So last time you can see the last time we have a volume of Bitcoin getting to the bottom part is where the volume spiked big time really beautifully here 24, big time beautifully at 24 really beautifully just right here. Okay, so this is kind of like a like a like a like a reversal pattern. Can you see? Let me just show you properly so you can see properly. Can you see the highest spike of kind of volume just right here? Usually just around 250, okay? 250 and 200. So there's a reversal. So let me just show you so you can kind of see what happened. So for example, a big spike of volume, people buying, going in like that. Big spike of volume or another reversal. 2019, Bitcoin crashed from 14 to like even 4,000. Crazy times. A kind of no volume. No one was trading until there's a this really nice spike of volume a little bit here, and then we went all the way up really nicely there. A lot of peak here showing some reversal patterns as well. And then coming back here where there's a spike of volume. Can you see the spike of volume here? Just around 330. This could be a bottom of Bitcoin. 20K. Some of students got in as well. This is like 3 years, 4 years ago, got in as well. And they just wait for quite some time. And eventually it could come out. So there's a spike of volume here, but this is a proper spike. So then you continue like that, and then you'll be like, ooh, ooh, you'll be like, oh, should I buy? Should I buy? You just look at the volume and should I buy? Should I buy? And it's like that. This is 250 of volume, a little bit there. Even you bought here is fine, you bought here is fine. So you wait for a bit, and then you pull and you go all the way up a little bit like that. And once you go all the way up like that, you can see there's a spike of volume. This is where we're supposed to sell now. We buy here now and we sell. Spike of volume means a new group of people are coming in. We never know what group, by the way. We just know it's a reversal. It's on a week 3 training. So it came up and then it's come back down like that really nicely that as well. It's all coming back down suddenly as another group of people coming in, volume around 200, and they will push back the price from 80K to 120K. Yeah, crazy times. And then we reach extreme greed just right here. Yeah, we reach around extreme greed, a little bit of spike around 150, just a little bit there. So this is where we are. So some people will be thinking that this is a support in November last year, okay, 2025. They'll be like, oh, Bitcoin come to 80, should we buy then because there is a support just right here? But if you look at it carefully, we don't really have a support of a volume spike. Usually you want the volume to be like at least like 200, okay? 200 people has to get in. Otherwise it's just too small. So no one was getting in, just 150 was okay. If you bought it here, that's fine. So, and then a little bit like that, a little bit like that, a little bit like that. So it continues to come back down. So now we still have around 150 people only. So we haven't really got into the 200 volume price. Okay. In our training, we also show you another metrics as well. How do you get on it? So using extreme fear time. That was also really accurate. That's also really powerful. Where you add a little bit more positions whenever we are below like 5. Adding a little bit there is fine. Now, in for normal people, they will just buy Bitcoin and stuff like that. For apprentices, we recommend you to buy some really powerful one. So rather than making like just double your money, you can 4 times your money, even 3 times your money, just like that on buying some individual smaller coins. Awesome. So that's just to answer some questions here. Let's see. Now, good questions, Neil. We recommend you get into extreme field times. So, do you ever short index? What criteria do your stocks go down to fear increase? Seems that your first rule buy in extreme fear. Cool. So, Eric was asking, do I ever short the index? If I want to short the index, I will short some very volatile index, some bigger index. So, it could be like technology 100. Okay. So like technology 100. And yeah, because when it comes down, this guy is gonna come down even more than SP 500. With SP 500 hardly moves, but this was 26, so it moves a little bit more than that. Yeah, but so yeah, so that's kind of what happened. But in the week 4 training, we talk about going through. If you short individual stocks, you're gonna be even nicer as well. But you can definitely do that. But you just have to be very, very, you need a lot of discipline. You need a lot of hand holding. This is very emotional as well. If you just do that, and you have to have your odds on your side. Yeah. Proper training is really important. Cool. So, I mean, saying 6.7, can we buy a little bit? Buying the right sectors a little bit is kind of fine. But I personally will be buying in March. Weapons like drones and artillery. Yeah. For those who cannot buy Bitcoin professional, are there any companies they are looking at? You can buy Bitcoin on Coinbase for UK citizens or for UK residents. Cool. Awesome. So that's kind of what happened. Now let's go through some trades right now so that we can see. So if you've done your homework, if you think there's something nice to buy and sell, you can let us know about that in the chat box if you've done your beautiful homework already. Cool. Nice. So also the same things as well. So the real money kind of coming in or making big on real money is kind of doing stocks, doing exchange fees. A lot of our students, they just do one time, two times. That's about it. Just one time, their life change forever, especially when they have some, proper hand holdings. Yeah. So Warren Buffett makes most of his money. He's 90 years old. He makes most of his money just doing almost just five stocks, even less than five, I would say. Yeah, a lot of these richest person in the world, like what's his name? The 2008 guy. What's his name? Michael Burry. One time. He makes money one time. And that's it. His life is settled. So a lot of people think that, oh, you have to get in every day, you have to sweat every day, every hour. You don't. You just need to get in one time. That's the part. That's the best part. How many times you need to get rich in your lifetime? 100 times, million times? No, one time. Yeah, Michael Burry become the richest person. Well, not the richest person, become one of the most, famous. Becoming financially free, just make it like that by just doing one time. I get in just three times, just four times like that. But I just need one time. I already make it in 2008. Even 2016. In 2016, there's some Brexit time. In 2014, a little bit of crash, a little bit there as well. So you just get in some really, really nice time and you'll be nice. Not 2008, 2018 as well, where it's a market kind of fluctuate a little bit there. Cool. So in terms of cattle as well, we are still waiting for cattle to come to the end of February. Yeah. By middle of March, we kind of try to get out at a profit. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. Because after one policy, they turn the food pyramid, and then another one they now promote real food. So they promote people to eat real food. So you have to eat like real chicken. You don't do like processed chicken. You want to eat real thing. So that's just a bit tricky there. But yeah, real money comes in really really doing stocks at extreme fears time. Yeah, and cool. So let's go to market screen a little bit just to see kind of what happened. Do. Not entirely sure what's going on with my. It's not really loading very beautifully. Let's use another browser. Awesome. Do. Cool. Let's see. This is on the week 4. If you haven't got this yet, you're probably gonna feel a little confused. Let's just try our best. So this is one of the most important thing because if you want to know what to buy and what to sell, you kind of have to do it because otherwise and it's super simple once you know how to do it. It's just most people do not know how to do it. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go to market screener real quick. Do, 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 do. Let's make a screen now. Mm, 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 mm. I can't even find it. Okay, let me just see if I can find it here. Just a minute. Remember, I Kimball. What should we buy? What should we sell? Down in the chat box, guys. If you found the trades already, if you've done the homework already, just send to host and panelists so I can see what you type. I think it's Kim. I'm not entirely sure if okay, anyway. I was just talking about on email because I've been sending email nowadays. So if you're not on the email, you're probably not on my email list. I try to send email quite frequently right now because a lot of things are a little bit down at the moment. Yeah, our Instagram is down a little bit at the moment. Should be back this week. Not sure what's going on with Meta. Maybe that's why Meta stocks keep going down. Anyway, so go first. You go to news, and then you go to all news. But you should have me on WhatsApp. Okay, make sure you have me on my WhatsApp. And then we go to, let's see, topics, and you go to equity, and then you go into corporation finance, and you just go to guidance increase and guidance decrease. So let's start with decrease first. Yeah, let's just do that. Margin pressure. Sales growth, earning decline, all of that. Cool. So, and then you change the countries. Do we need to change countries? Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a bit, probably not. 216, 216, 213. Yep, that's fine. We don't need to change country. So Carrefour confident 2016 acquisition weighs on operating profit. General Mills lowers guidance. We're going to open that. Food stocks wall. There is, okay, once you go through that, remind me to use AI to do this as well. Because some people want to learn about how to use AI. Food stocks fall after General Mills warns of weak consumer. Let's have a look. Consumer sentiment. Wendy's launch, Outlook misses estimate. So all-time high backlog signals, Talabat, capital cuts, Louisiana provides earning guidance. General Mills forecast cuts from demand hit rattles. Let's see what's that. General Mills, Outlook shares, cuts, guidance, you cut all of that. Revises earning guidance, provides unaudited, withdraws earning guidance. Usually we go into them, but let's see. Slight revises, downgrades. Expect to have a net loss. Tiong Seng mining. Estimate lower FSEB. Good flat goals margin. Warns on profit and amid misconduct probe. Aim to cut costs. Project formal. Revenue heightens. Midday. A lot of that. Okay, cool. So General Mills, let's have a look. Say it expect net sales to be down 1.5 from its down 1% up to 1. Net sales to be down 1.5. So you want to really like you are comparing a salary, okay? Look at like a salary. Down from its previous guidance of 1% up to the companies expect adjusted operating profit to be down 16-20 compared to its previous guidance of 10 to 15. General Mills was also down. So it used to be 16, used to be 10, now 16. So it's quite a big drop a little bit, isn't it? So shorting this should be okay. We're just gonna read a little bit more. Food stock, like all of this food stock. Shares of consumer food companies was down after General Mills cuts its outlook. So what? No one's buying food now? Mondelez, Kraft Heinz, McCormick, Smucker, Conagra brand. General Mills kick off saying that consumer feeling pressure and uncertain SNAP reduction have led to consumer what SNAP benefits reduction, geopolitical uncertainty, consumer stress, median and lower class income. Seeing financials buying more products on promotion, we see a heightened focus on value. Cause of okay, conference seeing a upper. Interesting, really interesting. This is Wendy. It's another fast food. So I think this week is a fast food. It's a food earnings. Yeah, all the food are releasing their earnings. Fast food chain plan to close 5% of its US restaurant. So we're just trying to think about whether we can short food companies. Okay. So let's see if it is something is shortable. Food companies is very cyclical. Yes, write it down. Food companies are very cyclical. So they go up and then they come down. They go up, they come down. So usually they're in an oscillating trend, especially the UK one. The US one, maybe they will go up a little, like maybe they have a nice uptrend, but it's not super steep. With most of the closure, adding that moves companies well below expectations, seeking revitalize its brand, including 4-6 big four. Morgan Stanley outlook is not pretty. Aggressive cuts may signal a bottom, which struggle against compare. Despite these initiatives, company continue to face headwinds. US same-store decline, double digits, international growth. Okay. So yeah, a lot of food companies. These are all food companies. Louisiana provide earning guidance for the first expect 350 12% decline for the year. Expect a sales year-over-year growth to be -2. Wow, a lot of things to short, guys. General Mills, let's have a look. Cuts its annual core sales, sparking a sell-off. Consumer grant. This is what General Mills, Cheerios. Lower trading value brands, denting sales, cost of living housing pressure. CEO. Cereal, cereal maker, which had a December left its annual outlook unchanged, slumped 7%. They have fallen nearly 19. Huh? The packaged food industry, all of that comments, Campbell, they're all sleeping. Earlier this month, Pepsi cuts its prices on the core brand. This is why this is a strategy we talk about it quite a lot of times where we call it a bottom up strategy. This is why the week 4 training is really is one of the most complicated it looks complicated, but it's actually very, very fun once you know it. Okay. So it's really starting from the bottom by looking at individual shares. You get to know what happened to the market. You get to know what happened to the economy. You get to know what happened to the industry. Yeah, really nice. Like we done it on Teslas as well. You know, on December we talk about December, even November. A lot of these car companies was coming down. They did came down. We talk about a lot of these AI companies were spending a lot of money on infrastructures and stuff like that. So because they're spending money on infrastructure, utility starts to do really well, while they spend money on a lot of infrastructure. So even one company you can see when it starts to do a bit tricky, the rest of the AI starts to get really tricky. Yeah. So the same thing here as well. You can see even in Pepsi's as well. We're supposed to look at, so in Pepsi, for example, if you've been reading carefully, Pepsi is one of the biggest company, food company. Pepsi was dropping their prices. So when people are dropping their prices as a food company, things start to get a bit tricky. It creates a whole effect for all the food industry. So Pepsi was happened like 2 weeks ago, I think, if you remember. We will touch on Pepsi earlier, but we haven't got time the other day to go delve in deep. Yeah. What do we delve in deep the other day? Yeah, we was doing those big companies. Yeah, it's nice to look at those. Yeah. So you can see, you look at the whole. Okay, let's see if we can find Pepsi kind of later on. Cut their prices on core brands. So what you do is like every day you come to market screener, okay, and you look through companies that suddenly increase their guidance big time, like almost double, 50%, 80%. Like what happened to Nvidia in 2023? We were reading it like a normal person, and it would be like Nvidia provides earning guidance. This is it. That's all what they say. Nvidia provide earning guidance. A lot of people have never heard of Nvidia in 2023, and a lot of our students, we were reading it through like a normal person, and then we suddenly found it. Wow, double. This guy double, and it's one of the top 10 companies, one of the biggest companies. It was still quite small at the time. Yeah, and then things double when the guidance double. A lot of things that happen like that. So when you see things double because of demand double, demand is really important. So the whole food chain comes in, the whole chain of like life-changing situation comes in. This is a good part about trading and investing. So is trading and investing is not like every day, you try to make profit every single day. It's not really like that. Trading investing is as we talk about many times, is about really, really nice time, one time. So a lot of people, they give up. A lot of people, they're doing it a little bit, and then they give up a little bit like that. So you don't really have to give up, because you'll be missing on the chance like that. You miss on the beautiful chance, because sometimes there's nothing going on, but if you already cut, you don't get to see what happened beautifully. Yeah, you don't get to see what happened beautifully. um it's like playing. I'm trying to think about an analogy. It's like, sometimes winning means sometimes staying in the game is already mean you are winning. Staying in the game, because giving up is super simple. Giving up is super simple because everyone can give up. Everyone can give up. It's really simple. You want to be healthy. Everyone can give up being healthy. You want to be fit. If everyone can give up in their dreams and goals, giving up is easy. You don't need to do. You close your eyes, you give up. It's very easy. But if you just stay in the game, you don't have to do a lot of energy. Stay in the game. Wow, life gets super nice, because you feed yourself, you feed your brain, and a lot of people think, oh, those people who go on competition on swimming, they are swim, they swim for five minutes, and it's all gone. But you didn't see years of doing nothing, years of preparation for that 5 minutes on stage. Yeah. So trading and investing is also very similar. It's just that 5 minutes when the time comes, then you do it, and then your life change like that. Yeah, especially when you have some proper hand holding. So I'm so glad, so proud, and so proud for all of you who decided that, especially this year is just full of opportunities. So it's just an incredible year. Midterm election is always beautiful. Okay, it's always very beautiful. So anyway, so well done for all of you. Well done for you. Very, very proud of you. So PepsiCo cuts its prices. Okay, and when you read this on the earning guidance already, you'll be like, wow, PepsiCo do what? PepsiCo don't just sell Pepsi; they sell everything else. Okay, let me show you what Pepsi sells. Um, Pepsi sell this. Pepsi sell like all these beautiful things. PepsiCo, they sell many things. A lot of people just think they sell your creeps as well, guys. Your creeps, all of that. What is it? This one? Yeah, your Cheeto, whatever that is. Your Quaker. Your No, that's not Pepsi. Sorry, let's do one more time. This one. This is Pepsi. Your Doritos, your Quaker, your Mountain Dew, is it your Pepsi, your Cheetos, your Tropicana? Yeah. So they don't just sell Pepsi. A lot of people think they just sell Pepsi. Even Coca-Cola don't just sell Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola sell what? Let me have a look. Maybe they just sell Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola sell what? Becomes a Coca-Cola distributor. Like all of that. They sell Sprite. They sell Royal, whatever that is. Okay. Cool. So yeah. So when a big guy was coming down, the whole thing was coming down. Lay Doritos by up 15 in response to consumer backlash. While Kraft Heinz, the what's that called again? The Heinz paused by splitting their plan. So a lot of things have been coming down since. Let me just show you what happened first. Cool. Let's go to market screen very fast. And then you go to like PepsiCo. Okay. And then you go into like news a little bit. So that happens when, let's see, Coca-Cola. Yeah, Coca-Cola. So PepsiCo was 9 of February. Pepsi Coca-Cola declare 4th of February actually. Let me see. PepsiCo earnings snapshot. Okay, let's look at that. What else? Let me show you how can you affirm. Okay, they affirm forecast. PepsiCo plans to cut prices. Okay, this one, February 3rd. Cutting prices means you're reducing your margin. As you talked about it before, the most important thing when you read is the revenue, not even the EPS revenue first, and you go to margin. Margin is quite important. Cut prices to Doritos as consumer pushback. What else? Press release, all of that. Okay, let's read this. Market screening is so beautiful. PepsiCo cut prices, Doritos pull back, plans to cut prices 15%, prepare, all of that. Forecast. Yeah, 3rd of February. So when you read things like that, you'll be like, wow, they never really cut prices. We are increasing prices, they cut prices. Is that what's going on? Just imagine your Doritos, £2.50 become, I don't know, 80p or £1. Say it had the profit exceed post revenue. Let's have a look. And then this guy reaffirm revenue increase, cut prices like Lay's and Cheetos to consumer complain of high cost. All of that. Okay, so when you see things like that, when they cut prices, a lot of people is gonna struggle a little bit. So it's even in 3rd of February, when you read this news that they cut prices, one of the biggest guy cut prices is like last time. If one of the biggest guy like Tesla cut prices, when one of the biggest guy like whatever that is cut, prices, and it's crazy. So let me just show you how crazy that is. And then you can start shorting a lot of these stocks that we talk about. This Let's have a look. All the food stocks: General Mills, Kraft Heinz, Marco, Conagra Brands, the Campbell Company. They are all the same. They are all just a smaller fraction of the food, because General Mills is the leaders of the food groups. Yeah. So that's what happens. So this is why it's important if you want to do things like never seen before. Just about that. Cool. Let's have a look to see whether it's too late. So what is this? This is General Mail. Let's see how much the guidance drop to see whether or not we can do some for food. So let's see. I'm gonna start with what is this? Operating branch. What were we doing just now? Okay, I'm going to come back to that kind of later on. General Mail. Okay, let's go to General Mail. So 3rd of February, if you already shorted General Mail in 3rd of February, let me see, 3rd of February mail. Let's have a look like that. Wow, what's going on with this? General Milk. I think we talked about them in the past. So 3rd of February would just be here, just right at the very nice top, right? 3rd of February, yeah, just right here. It's gone sideways for quite some time, scared you a little bit, and then coming down, scared you two more times, even go higher, making you panic, and it comes down really nicely like that. Okay, Kraft Heinz. Wow. So same things as well. 3rd of February will just be there, scare you a little bit, and coming back down like that. What about Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola was just a bit different. This is in the US like that. It's a bit of defensive stock. Coca-Cola is one of the most famous defensive stock. Let's look at Coca-Cola earnings because they released their earnings recently. Coca-Cola. These people sell drinks. All news. So let's see what Coca say about their cola. So if you read it carefully like that, full year result, margin snapshot. What about the guidance? Let's see. Okay, they don't give guidance, do they? Earning calls, revenue growth. Let's sluggish revenue growth. Okay, let's look at that. New shares, raising prices. Wow, this guy is raising prices. This is why it's so important to read the companies, guys. Can you see? So important to read the earning guidance because if you don't read it, how do you know what's happened? To offset high input costs, it becomes at a time where US consumers are increasingly looking for cheaper option. PepsiCo said it would cut prices on key snacks. So one is a drink, one is for snacks. Okay, consumer have pushed back several rounds. Coca-Cola expect revenue growth 4 to 5 compared to 5% rise last year. Yeah, so it's a bit different because these get to raise prices while other people needs to reduce their prices because a lot of competition. It's like iPhone. iPhone gets to increase their price and people still buy because they have the power. But Tesla cars, there's so many competition with EV cars. EV cars is like everywhere. So you kind of have to. So monopoly is really important. So yeah, so this guy was just going sideways. It hasn't really, it's just going sideways like that. Hasn't really come up since the 10th of February news. Cool. Let's look at this. What else? Let me see the food company. Wendy's as well. General Mills. I think the only thing we can short is probably General Mills. So how do we decide whether we can General Mills or it's quite top, it's quite high. How can we decide whether we can short something? You plot the earning guidance beautifully and see if it has never happened before. When we spot Nvidia, we've seen that it has never happened before. When we spot Broadcom, when we spot Palantir, when we spot Cradle, when we spot a lot of these beautiful stocks, yeah, it was always steady, steady, 10%, 10%. Suddenly they jump 100%. That's where things has never happened before. So if you want to make money like you've never seen before, General Mills, for example, you have to see that it's dropped in their guidance like you've never seen before. It has to be so big. Yeah. Now this is only like 16 to 10%. So if you want to know whether it's huge, you have to go back and see it by plotting the graphs on Big Four training. Nice. So let's continue. Olympus cuts profits forecast on safety. Let's look at this. This is a Japan company. This is a Japan company. Bob White. Okay, sometimes you want to see whether it's big because of his problem or everyone else's problem. Okay, let's have a look. Olympic shares fell 10% after lowest forecast for the year. Ongoing safety issue and cost cutting. So safety issue is normally companies' own problem. So, it's not the whole industrial problem. It's not really, safety issue is their own problem. Yeah. Acquisition, for example, companies acquire another company is the company's problem. It's not really the whole situation problem. Okay. Companies now expect net profit while it's advancing quality system, implementing all of that, reaffirm their commitment to the target. So it's still 20%, so nothing much. Traffic Com earnings guidance was previously 450, now 420. It's not like never seen before. Okay, this is a bit big. EB was 25 to 7. But the revenue is what we're really interested in. Revenue dropped only 30 mil. So that's okay. Following an analysis, companies announced that revenue and fall significantly short of expectation. It is necessary to adjust the outlook. It is necessary to adjust the outlook. This is what? Intelligent transportation system in the field of tolling, traffic management, small, all of that. Okay, communication and network services. I see. So this is just not in the US. Cool. So 25 to 7 is okay. 450 to 420 is not huge, but 25 to 7 is quite big. Okay, if this guy is under, when we draw the earning guidance, and if we have never seen anything like that, we can short this guy. Cup traffic com. Let's have a look. Do. Wow, this is a new company, unfortunately. So it is started in this year, 6 months ago, and it's coming like that already. Okay. A lot of people already shorting this. Okay, that's for that. Inat Global, let's have a look. Withdraw earning guidance announced in the light of strategic review. Previous reaching 3 billion withdrawn will not replace any new. So they didn't really say whether it's good or bad. Okay, they didn't really say. Dido, it's a Japan company. We try to avoid Japan guidance. Tiong Seng, I think it's a Singapore company. Cool. So let's carry on looking down to see if we can find any more guidance that's dropping. Cut cost. This is Dutch, has room for upside. Industrial plan. Exo. E-Wheel provides earning guidance. Italian pump maker. Turnover target below expectation. Revises. This is the Japan. C-core decline for 45 to 50%. This is a bit of China. This is a Hong Kong company. Waste Deutsch. Pro Meituan. Under pressure. What is this? What is this? What is this? Wider. Parkson Retail. Parkson. Man. This is everywhere around the world. So usually we just choose the US, but let's just see because they might not have a lot of choices. I'm gonna go back to the US only and see what happened. Mutually minimize losses, data dog. Just give me a minute, let me just see. This is 9.6. This is 4. This is Kraft Heinz was here. Seeing weak as 2026 outlook become investor focus. Kraft Heinz. Kraft Heinz was already quite low just now. Kraft Heinz and PepsiCo. Let's see. PayPal. Oh, PepsiCo wasn't really here. Hmm. How do we make sure PepsiCo is here though? Let me just see. I'm just trying to see. Margin pressure. What about pricing power? Let's see this. Put the pricing power in. I trying to see if we can find PepsiCo. Let me change the countries to like Africa and Europe. What's that? Just give me a minute. Just trying to see what's happened. So this is the paper Berlingo Kraft Heinz. Yep, PepsiCo is just here. Wow. So you have to put the pricing there in order to see PepsiCo. I'm trying to see the filter. So we have three filters here. So you have the filter of so many different things: positive earnings surprise, negative earnings surprise, negative earnings surprise. We're just looking at the guidance out of so many things: equity, corporation finances, profit warnings, whether you're gonna make money or not, price growth, volume growth, pricing power, margin, sales growth, decline. Sales can be in decline, but they are still making, so that's quite okay. Earnings decline. Maybe you can put these two in. All right, let's filter it again. So we still see General Mill, the food stocks we see just now. Hello Corporation. So if you type the brothers and sisters of PepsiCo, the peers of PepsiCo. Let's see, Celsius, General Mills was here, Conagra Brand was there as well. Okay, yeah. These are all the beverage giant: General Mills, Conagra Brand, Mondelez. Let's get Mondelez for a second. Yeah, was going like this. Okay, and then it's coming back down like that. And then let's see. You got General Mills, Hershey, Conagra. Let's get Hershey. A lot of these going to their guidance individually is also quite nice because you can see what they're actually doing. So Hershey's been going like all-time high. Maybe you can short this guy. It's going all time like that, and then come back down, and then it's halfway through there. And then ever since PepsiCo says, guys, enough is enough. So 2nd February around here, and then it came back down since. Hershey. Let's see what they sell. M&Ms. Is that it? They sell like I call it discretionary. I call it non-important things where people only spend when they can. Yeah, I call it non-important things. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Like that Hershey, Skinny Pop, a lot of these things going on. Yeah. Okay, let's put it on and let's sell them. But in order to sell them, you have to like read the earning guidance a little bit. Low Hershey company. So let me just type it there. I literally have my phone. So 70 of fat, Hershey, Hershey company. This company sells like Hershey, the people and stuff like that. So you have to do the earning guidance a little bit. Yeah. just yeah, just a bit of shorting just right here because of General Mill, and a lot of that was coming down a little bit. Let's get General Mill. General Mill. When you see a spike of volume, it's also telling you should stop selling. So let me show you the volume. So this is a spike of volume, that's fine. It's a reversal volume. So you don't have another spike of volume like that going on. Like for example, yeah, you're shorting very happily. I'm today I'm making money, tomorrow I'm making money, Thursday I'm making money, Friday I'm making money, I'm making money, making money because you count our strategy, because you learn the most powerful trading strategy that I've spent millions of my money and I never stop. A few months later, we're gonna see Warren, we're gonna see Elon, all of these people will learn directly from them. And you'll be like, oh, volume, or Raymond say volume. Okay, my mentor say volume. What are you doing? You look at the volume spike just right. Then you short very carefully. You'll be like, let me call it a day on shorting. That's what happened. Okay? And you're like, oh, let me get out. And then suddenly the market goes up big time. So, wow. Volume is a really powerful strategy. Would you agree? If you think volume is a very powerful strategy, type powerful in the chat box so that you will use it. Like volume is really powerful strategy. Yeah. Because if you don't use it, you're gonna miss a really important um skill set. Awesome. Well done. So music powerful. Happy New Year in the news. We have Sharon say powerful. Hello. We have Luxana. We have Melissa. We have Theo. News volume. Louis say powerful. Michael. We have KJ. Really, really powerful. Yeah, really powerful stuff. It helps you on knowing when the market S&P 500 is going to bottom. It helps you knowing when individual stocks is going to bottom. It helps you know when Bitcoin is going to bottom. It helps you know so many different things. It's crazy. It's crazy because guys, when we buy stuff, we don't just want to buy by yourself living in your bubble. You want to be having someone to, wow, some people are coming in as well. Yeah. So peak of volume is usually a reversal. So it went up big time and it's a reverse like that. Peak of volume, but it starts to come back down right now. Okay. That's kind of what happened. Obviously, it's not 100. It will be 100% of the times if it aligns with everything else. Okay, if it aligns with everything else. But it's a very important metrics to look at, and if you don't ignore it. Anyway, or try not to go against it. It's just gonna be a bit crazy if you go against it. Cool. So let's go back to where are we looking at just now? Okay, the food company. So General Mills. Let's type General Mills real quick. Cool. Let's see what's going on with this guy. Just gonna put it on here. Cool. So Jeremy was already like that, like since ages and ages and ages ago. Since like 2023. Now the good news about this is that if you read the earning guidance, they already tell you that our strategy already tell you that the earning guidance drop already at the top. Yeah. Try to draw, you will see how beautiful, how powerful our earning guidance strategies is. You will see that it's growing, 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 growing. Oh, suddenly they decline in their next expectation of thingy. Cool. So I was just talking about Mons Curate Dr. Pepper. Let's see. What are we on about? We're talking about Hershey Konaga brand. It's like Konaga. Konaga. Konaga food. So like this already. That's just a bit catch. 22 like that. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So um so General Mill, I'm gonna type General Mill on here as well, but you have to kind of go into like General Mill. You have to like draw the earning guidance to see it's never happened before. To see if it ever happens before. Okay. And see when is a earning release for the Hershey's as well. Cool. So Let's carry on a little bit. So Louisiana, Portland reports. A lot of these, when they just say reports, you kind of have to click on it because that's what happened to Nvidia. Nvidia just say Nvidia reports earnings result. That's literally what it says. Lulu Brown reports. Okay, let's click on it and see. You have to click the. You have to go to the company website to see eToro. eToro, guys. eToro. Um, If you want to know whether the market has bottom, go to the monthly metrics of eToro. They will also tell you what happened. When no one trades, that's where the market usually bottom. Forecast card expect. Olympus cut profit forecast. We done that just now. Farmer Bros, Westwood, Inside Dutch Bro, West Management, Aola, Rapid Master, Gillette. Let's see. Sets Q1 guidance, sets Q1 full year guidance. A lot of these sets guidance you have to compare because they didn't give you, they didn't tell you what happened. Ford Motor. They didn't really tell us what happened to the guidance. Yeah, we have to click one by one on that. That's crazy. XLP, AI concern. Okay. International Petroleum. Do, do, do. Do we have the thing? Roy. There are so many ways. Actually, I have to click all of them. Update specs and Sally H. Well Hein. Basically, you want to see a really huge difference. You want to see if it doubles, that means your money is gonna double. Cool. Let's see. This is updates used to be. So the title is like that. Look at the title. Back-term updates. They didn't tell you up or down, and then you have to click on it, and then they tell you a little bit. They say previous was 14, now is 12. Okay. Previous is 14, now is 12. 2 divided by 12 is like, it's less than 10. Is it 10? 2 divided by 12. What's 2? So you have to see whether it happens before or not. That's the right way to do it. So let's say 2 divided by 14 because before was 14. It's around 14%. 17, back to low digit revenue growth. Yeah. It's a potential. Yeah, we kind of have to joy a little bit. This is Amazon. Amazon. Let's see the guidance. Expect to invest, but they didn't really say. Q1 profit guide was a bit soft. What was it? Q1 guided 173. You want to see last year Q1, how much is it last year Q1? If it is low, then Amazon might continue to come down a bit. QROI, expect 3.35. Okay. Check fiscal. Loss, poll. Expect 60 million. So what happened before? Yeah. So that's the thing when they just say this, when you click on it, you have to know what happened before. And the way you know what happened before is by typing check investor on Google. Then you're going to get it. Mm-mm. It looks like a money making. You're going to make a lot of money if we do this. I'm going to do it later. Actually, we can do it now since we've done most of this. Yeah, let's do it now. Check. So CHEGG investor. You type like that. I'm going to show you how to do it. Normally we show you for the apprentices, but I'm going to show you. So you click on that, and then you click on this, and then this is what you do. You go on February time. You click press release. Now, if you read it carefully, they say Q1 60 million. You want to look at last year Q1 to see if it has been so low before, or you want to see a pattern, okay? So you open everything up. The right thing to do is to open everything up. So let's put it on view more. So that's what we got. We do 2025 for February's as well. Let's see if last year is 60 million. If it's lower, then this company is actually going crazy. It's actually losing money. So February 9, you reverse the guidance of the outlook is here. Very clear outlook. Very clear outlook. 1770. That's what they guided for. Okay. Not total revenue, which is more important, is 60 million. Okay, that's what they say. Gross margin, wow, still very high. Okay, so that's what happened. So we could look at the one before. This is like November. Remember, we look at just now is February. November was what? 70 million. So 70 to 60. So it is a drop quarter to quarter. But it can be because of season, because last year is December. So maybe December is a Christmas time. People spend a lot of money on whatever this is. So we want to look at last year the same time, February. So we go to February time. The best thing to do is to filter everything. But so let's go to guidance. This is what learners. Let's go to Outlook. Okay. So before was actually 111.4, so 114 million. So they're actually dropping almost like 30%. Guys, companies supposed to grow 30%. This guy dropped 30%. Actually, are we looking at the same thing? Yeah, dropped 30%. Gross margin used to be 66. Now gross margin dropped to 114. So you plot a little bit more to see if so this is it. So you want to be like a salary thing. Yeah? Pretend this is your salary, okay? Your salary pretend is going down like that. You want it to like usually your salary is like that, and then suddenly it was going down like that. Or your salary usually is going up. If suddenly your salary is going down like that, wow, this is it. That's where you make a lot of money. So how do you know? You have to look at everything in the past to know that if this number that we look at the 60 million, what happened? Is it a straight line like that? Or is it already big and then they started to slow down and maybe they're going to go back up? So you have to see whether it's slowing down or going back up. Okay? So the only way how you know it is by looking at the past 8 quarters. Draw it beautifully. Okay? Let's short this guy. Checks. CHEEC. Robert say powerful. You're welcome, Robert. Checks, short. Yeah, plot the graphs as well. So if when I plot it, I saw 70 mil to 60 mil, okay, the revenue. This is quarter to quarter. When I plot it year to year, I can see that it changed from 11 million, 0 million drop to 60 mil. Okay, this is an education company, according to what they say. Okay, beautiful things. So let me continue. So that's what happens. Yeah. So make sure you draw it and then make sure you just click the button, guys. Just click the button. If you are new, just put in your practice button. So that's for check. Let me see. Yeah, this is for check. Okay. This is for fee serve. Fee serve expect 8 to 8.3. Analysts expect 8.18. So it's very similar. You'll be like, wait, there is the money. 8 is the same. So there's not much. It's a IT company. Check. SP Global. Let's see what's going on. Global forecast uneasy, pushing shares. Now, when they say shares lowers more than 2 years, it's actually the bottom. It can be the bottom because it's the lowest. Lowest means we never seen such a cheap price before. Companies group within the broader software, Cooperation pulled into last week by the AI linger. SP adjusted 19 to 19. There is no difference. Look, 19.9, 19.4. You're not going to make money like this. So a lot of our students did not short this person on 10th of February. Unclear about AI, all of that. So SP Global, let me show you what happened when the guidance has a no change in numbers. Yeah, so that's what happened. 10th of February, when is that? It's around here. Then let's say you miss that, you get 11. You know, it started to go back out a little bit. It's actually slowly showing the bottom. But in order for me to buy, we have to make sure the growth rate is high. Okay. So SP Global. Because we're not gonna get stuck, guys. We're not gonna buy here in August and then get stuck for 6 months. Okay. You want to make sure the growth rate is actually quite high. Interesting. SP Global. Let's see how much is the growth rate of this guy. The growth rate, because if you want to do something, you need to make sure it's growing. The growth rate several slow, but how much is it though? Sweeping. They didn't really say. You have to go to the companies and read it carefully. For apprentices, you can go to finviz.com and just see it just like that. Very simple. Ford Motor. Let's look at Ford Motor. Basic. Compare. Okay, let's look. Was is already reported, is already in the past. Nothing to look at because it's reported, so it's in the past. Rapid INC. We might be able to short this. Let's see. A lot of our students kind of already short this. So 1.5, analysts expect what? 9.6. So it's almost dropped almost 30%. Would you agree? 1.96 to 1.5. But this is analyst. We don't really care what the analysts say. We want what the companies say. Okay. Expect Q1 0.29 on the revenue 200. And Q1 is okay. Full year is more powerful anyway. So yeah, let's short this. Global cyber security software and services provider. Okay, let's just copy and paste this thing. So you have to know what happened. You have to plot the graph to see if it's never happened before. Yeah, we taught you in this week 4 training how to do this properly. So if you're on the apprentices, you probably don't have to do it. Rapid 7. Let's have a look. Rapid 7. Just click on that. And you just click short because, revenue, actually the EPS dropped almost 30%, I think. Revenue what? It would be nice to see how much is the revenue. Revenue was 839 to around 835. That's 30 million drop. Very small drop. It would be nice to be bigger, but cool. So that is kind of what happened there. Let me see. Master brand was this company loss with net sales expect decreasing mid single digit. They're already losing anyway. Can you see if a company, if your salary is already losing and you lose a little bit 0.06, there's nothing. That's better. The stock is supposed to go up. Yeah? Because you already lost big time, now you lost a little bit. So it's okay. Gillette, let's see. So we look for Gillette is of HIV. Okay, let's read this a bit. Gillette Sciences forecast at the end, including sales of its HIV prevention drug. Its shares fell 2%. Let's see what it says. Quarterly HIV drug, vertigo. Let's see what is vertigo. What's vertigo? Oh, it's a injection thing. Which launched US as twice injection, total 96 billion. Sure whisper drug was clinical in what? At preventing HIV, raising new hopes for interacting transmission of a virus. preventing HIV. Wow, this is not just cure HIV. This is preventing some big annual US sales, all of that. We are definitely all of that. Interview outlook grow 2%. What is this? 2% is so small due to the pricing agreement, uncertainty whether the company's HIV sales grew 6% in 2025 and another 6 in 2026. Did they expect 8 forecast? What about before? So 30 to 29. So it's a bit drop. Can we short it? It's a bit small. 30 to 29 is very small. We can't really short this. Liver, they have another one called liver disease, cell therapy, and all of that. That's okay. That's okay. It's not huge. We're not gonna be like super rich doing that. Gillette sales stock probably go up, even though the outlook was drop a little bit. Okay, outlook drop a little bit, but a lot of things are growing anyway, and people are maybe looking for the product. Let's see. Wow, look at this crazy stock. So suddenly they will be like, wow, if you inject me, you won't get HIV, and the stock go out like that. Okay. You will only know this if you read the guidance. Otherwise, you will never know it forever. Yeah. So because the numbers doesn't really change a lot, so we wouldn't really sell them. And the stock has been going up since 10th of February anyway. Okay. This is eToro. eToro revenue was falling a little bit. Let's read this eToro for a bit. eToro reported adjusted. Okay, we might be able to make some money on eToro. Okay, let's see. eToro adjusted earnings down 0.79. Analysts poll all of that. Okay, let's go to eToro earning guidance. eToro investor. Okay. eToro and Robinhood, they are very similar, but Robinhood obviously is more, I think it's bigger. eToro is kind of a new company. So if you buy new companies like that, if you do your analysis carefully, if you get it right, you will make a lot of money because they move fast. So they are telling that 4 million, only 4 million people, 75 countries, all of that. So you can compare with Robinhood. How much is it? Let me show you. Robinhood investor. You can even compare with Interactive Broker. You even compare with Trading 212, but 212 is not a public company. But let me show you. So you get to see, oh, would you rather invest in that or would you rather invest in this? 27 million funded account for Robinhood. eToro, we have 3.3 million. It's like how many times of this? 27 divided by 3 is like 9. 9 times 3, 27. Yeah? 324 billion platform assets. So this is a lot smaller. This is 18 billion. This is 300. It's like, so Robinhood is obviously is a lot bigger. So if you want to see the pattern of Robinhood, or you want to see what eToro is going to do, we just kind of, you can mirror a little bit, mirror image a little bit. But let's see what we're doing. Okay, we're looking at this. Um, let's go to press release. Let's open everything up. So Q3, Q2, and like that. So this is February. This is just today. Okay, let's see what they say. We became a public company recently. In 2025, we accelerated all this thingy. We've got all that thing, parallel, all of that. We off to a strong start with our January capital market demonstrating ability of our platform to adopt, including recent spike in commodity trading with our strong balance sheet and clear execution. We believe that we were well positioned to deliver an accelerated growth. This is net contribution only 10%, GAP only up 12% year over year. You have to see how much is Robinhood. Let me show you how much is Robinhood. So you get to see the growth rate a little bit. So press release of Robinhood. Robinhood announced on 10th of February. Okay, let me see. Robinhood increased 15%. Okay, total revenue increased 27%. That's crazy. Um, what else? They're all 24%, you know. This is why Robinhood is actually one of our extreme fear buying situation. Anyway, so for apprentices. Anyway, let's go to here. This is 12%, 10%, 4%. So it's not like massive. Net income increased 16%. What about the revenue, like what Robinhood says? So you can compare and contrast a little bit. Share repurchase program. Probably this is one that spiked the stock price. Today announced they're going to buy 100 million. So if you're not going to buy, they're going to buy it 100 million. Previously authorized 150 mil, and 100 mil has already been used. They still have 50 mil hasn't used yet. Following the increase, total remaining authorization is 150. So they didn't say when they're going to buy it. Okay, if they say when they're going to buy it, it'll be nice. Because 150 mil, they can buy it like in a year's span of 20 years. That would be crazy. Such repurchase may be variety. If they buy it in 3 months, wow, a lot of money is going to come into your pocket. Negotiation. How do you know when you're going to buy it? Maybe the earning transcript is going to give it. So type eToro earning transcript. They will tell you if they are thorough. Or you can look at the past. You know, when do they announce 150 mil in the past, and when do they use the 100 mil? Because now they still got 50 mil remaining. Okay, and that's what happened there. Okay, EBFA, all of that. Okay, it's very interesting company to look at as well. Um, so last time, is this eToro? How come the eToro was so good last time? Third quarter was increased 28%, and now February increased 10%. Wow, that's what's going on. This is 12%, 28, 48. This is like November time. This is 43. Maybe they just started. So the repurchase program today we announced 150. So wow, that's crazy. Look, November 10th, they announced a repurchase stock of 150 mil. So literally within a span of 3 months, they announced another one. Mm. Such repurchase go through all of that, enter 50 under. So you such as the share program to reflect. Okay, October KPI, trading, investing, wealth management. The thing about eToro is it's super expensive, their commission. So I'm not entirely sure if people actually will prefer this person or not. Now, I told you how to trade these small stocks before. If you forget, I'm going to tell you again. Normally, we only tell apprentices, but this is what happened. So small stocks on extreme fears, they will go up big time, and then extreme greed, they will come down big time. So that's what happened. So you just have to sell it before it came down, basically. So let me show you eToro. Let's see if we can find a stock. eToro. So that is what happened. So eToro was just announced here, 15th of May, and then it was just like that, and then today is here. So question was just should you buy? Now let me tell you when it's a bottom of a lot of stock when they first announce. If eToro announced at 6K, usually market do bottom when it reach around half of it. So 6K half is around 3. 3 was just around there. So this is why it really urge you to like um pull everything out and see what's going on. Okay. So just to see a pattern. Okay, let's try. So I'm gonna do this and We're gonna go monthly metrics. You should open everything up, but let's just go through monthly metrics very quickly. Okay. We can't really count like this because three, 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 three. Ooh, what's going on? Three, 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 and then 3.8 is the highest. Okay. It's not really growing. Total money transfer, number of trades. Hmm. Okay. Let's see Robinhood. Have we done Robinhood? I think we done Robinhood last week, isn't it? Yeah, we done Robinhood 2 weeks ago. So you get to see where's the bottom. eToro because it's quite new. In order for you to see the bottom, it might not be very super like accurate. But you can see September it was around 31. There's signaling potential bottom of the market just right there. Actually, I like yeah, that one 273. What's that? 2782 invested amount. Invested amount per trade crypto. Okay. Yeah. So if you aim the bottom a little bit, you can see where's the bottom of the crypto. 14622121138. So the lowest one is probably July. And then the next lowest one was like March, which is where the bottom of the market, the last extreme fears in for crypto. And then the highest was gone to 320. So if you sell crypto at 320, I would say congratulations to you. If you sell at 32, even in July you sell crypto at 365, I also say congratulations to you when everyone was trading big time. So the bottom of the crypto is around 170. So we're just waiting for this to around be 170. Then it's 182. It's almost there, but not there yet. You see the February one, if they're super low, then it's quite nice. Yeah. So there's the top of the market. July is just right at the top. Crypto was around 120 at the moment. Lots of students sold at the extreme greed time. Cool. So that's kind of but in order to see whether we can buy this stock or not, we got to pull all of the guidance graph out. And then we got to compare. Hmm. Yeah. Got to pull all the guidance out. Let me just see how do we do that. So this is KPI business highlights. Okay, eToro doesn't give guidance, so we just have to use their monthly metrics and kind of take it a little bit from there. Assets management was 18, 3. The way you know net increase 10%, 4%. EBITDA only up 4%. They're almost losing money like that. 2.67 EPS 2.67 to 2.64. They're actually losing money. Actually, not losing. I would say a little bit less. Make less money. Let's read it carefully what he says. There's an earning. If you really want to buy this, you can read the earning transcript on this. There was a milestone. We become a public traded company. We accelerated our product. We operating at all of this in parallel. Our focus. Need to read the transcript a little bit. Net contribution decreased 10% year over year. This is February, okay. Net income increased 6, 19, 0.19, 11. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Interesting. Remind me to look at this at extreme fear time again. Yeah. Because this, yeah, at extreme fear again. Cool. Awesome. I think that's almost about it. Lulu brand. Yeah, that's almost about it. Lulu brand is a small one. Helio. reported full year reported net loss was, okay, there's no really guidance here. Parkson. It's a small company. Meituan. Okay, let's see. Am I able to short this? Meituan. We expect, in particular, we expect a loss due to reversal of our operating profit. All of this. Meituan, the loss 23. Compare. Okay, they didn't really say a lot of reasons. E-commerce company. Meituan is an e-commerce company. So let's read it very carefully to see what they say. They expect a record loss in the range of 23. What about before? As compared to a profit. Wow. So from making a profit to 35 to losing 23. So we're just going to short it straight away like this. I mean, you just do have to plot. The expected loss was due to a reversal from an operating profit of an to an operating loss, but they didn't really say it was the reason. For core local commerce segment, together with increased investment in the group's overseas business. So they just spend a lot of money outside. But this is okay. Meituan, let's show this. So you have to plot this as well, yeah. In order for you to do things like this. Okay. Yeah. Because it's really from expect to lose 23 compared to a profit. They used to talk about profit to losing. That's a bit tricky. Okay, cool, awesome. Times is very, very beautiful right now. Yeah, Times is very beautiful right now. Like very exciting right now. So, so staying going through spending a little bit more time to go to companies could be quite a good thing for you so that you get ready and can prepare. Yeah. So also very excited for apprentices as well because they're gonna be, knowing exactly what's happened. So where is it? With the rapid rate all time, where would you say placing a short on it? I will go to the guidance big time. So to see if the guidance drop really, really huge. If the guidance drop huge, then we might be able to do it. Do I put a stop loss when shorting? Do I put a stop loss when shorting? Now, when you comes to shorting, okay, let's talk about stop loss a little bit. Okay, let's talk about what is stop loss. So when you so you have when you're using leverage, you want to come. There are three ways to do it, basically. Okay, there are three ways to do it. First, you can decide when you want to get out of a stock at a certain time. Okay, like you check the seasonality, you check the seasonality. You know that okay, at a certain time if this is wrong, then this is wrong already. So you just get out, just like that. Okay. So that's what happened. And it's always very helpful um to get into a stock thinking that you might lose the money. Like 2008, when Michael Burry wants to get into a certain stock, sometimes it's how do he kind of put it there just like that. So it's not about, oh, I'm gonna make money tomorrow. I'm not gonna make money like that. You have to have a mindset of doing something thinking that you kind of gonna give it already. Otherwise, you might be very scared and you might be very panicked. But if you come in the mindset where you already know, okay, I'm just gonna give it, then you will have the discipline and patience to hold it long time. It's like a lot of these stocks, for example, let's say Lumentum stock. If you come in the place where, oh, I'm just gonna spend this to buy this, and then because you have this mindset, you allows it to grow forever. You allows it to be like, oh, it's gonna keep going because you're just throwing it like that. Yeah, it's a crazy mindset, but this is what happened. If you want to get married, and you think that you're gonna be a perfect relationships and stuff like that, you probably a bit tricky. Yeah. So, but it's a good. It's not to say it's not gonna happen, but it's just to have that mindset. That's the first part. Okay, that's the first part. It really helps because uh, in life, if you have this perfectionist mindset, you will never do nothing. You will never do nothing. You will never go to another country. You will never do anything. If you're trying to travel, you're trying to plan it perfectly. You will never do it. You will never travel. 9 o'clock now. Oh, everyone's wake up. I have to wake up as well. You will never do it. So that's the first part. So you put a mental stop of the timing. Second, when you get in, you want to think about what is the maximum loss before you. Right, when you, because you're already in the training, it's nice to think about things like that. Yeah, for you to make big, you think about what's the maximum loss. I always thought about what's my maximum loss, and before I get into anything, think about that. Because so that you don't get fear comes from unknown. Fear comes from, I don't know what's going to happen, or I don't know whether what's going to happen. It's like switching off your light in the kitchen. If you do not know this is your house, you're gonna get scared. You might be like, why am I in the jungle or something? But if you know it's a kitchen, and you're switching off the light, you'll be like, oh, that's actually, this is the door, this is the, this is the mirror and stuff like that. So yeah, think about the worst situation. So that's the first part in terms of stop loss. Or you only use stop loss if you're using leverage. If you don't use, because using leverage means, you might be a bit tricky there. So, guaranteed way to make money, you're almost never going to lose. We don't really use that word in finance, but you can use it um, if you're doing stocks and you have not used. If you're doing stocks and you're choosing stocks that is reliable and safe, and you bought it at the right time, you might lose it temporarily from the first few days, first few 3 days, 4 days, but eventually you're gonna make it back. Especially you invest in like US stocks. So that's for non-leverage. For Donata, to answer your question, in a very normal way, I would just say that, do you need a stop loss for your, if you're using leverage, just to make it very basic so that a lot of beginners here can understand? Yes, you do use a stop loss when you're at a resistant line if you are using leverage. Okay, so that's kind of what happened, and but for just imagine Michael Burry has a stop loss, okay, on his 2007. He started shorting in 2006, 2007, 1 year he's do nothing. 2008, finally he got it. So a lot of things are like that. So this is when you are not using, this is when you are using like mm, like share dealing. Okay, things are a lot nicer. This is why, in order for you to use leverage, you definitely need a mentor. You definitely need a one-to-one. You definitely need a, make sure everything is aligned really, really nicely. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. And you don't put in so much. So do I put stop loss and short? Yeah. So for leverage, you do. Where do you put stop loss? You put stop loss as the highest resistance line. Eric say, look at eToro volume. Nice. Awesome, everyone. How do you define small stocks? Small stocks is stocks that is less than, let's say, that is not on the S&P 500. Yeah. And that will be a good buy momentum at the extreme field time when it comes down really nicely. Cool. So, so yeah, that's kind of what happened. Yeah, for cattle, I'm personally trying to close at the profit end of February, in middle of March time. Cool, but most of your money is gonna make big time on doing individual stocks. Awesome. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. And yeah, one of the best times is about to be here. So for apprentices, for the extreme field time, we're gonna do your one-to-one. We're gonna do some live trading together. We're gonna put some trades as well together for apprentices. So I'm very, very excited for you. Awesome. That's it for now, and I will see you very, very soon. Cool. So make sure you have me on my WhatsApp. If you haven't, I'm gonna type my WhatsApp number here. That's my WhatsApp number. I try to post story very regularly, so I have to add you in the context for you to see my story. Yeah, our Instagram is gonna be back soon. Let's see what happened. Awesome, well done. So excited for you. You're welcome, Louise. Eric say thank you. You're welcome, Ajay, Carlos, Harriet, Robert, Neil, Evelyn. Really nice to see you guys. Once earning guidance of a company out, stock price go up and down based on the outlook of the companies. 60% of the times. Okay. But when the market crashes, it's going to crash as well. But if you don't read the outlook of the companies, you kind of never know what's going on with the companies. Like Shamana say thanks, Sharon say thanks, Barry say thanks, really nice, awesome. So we got Davey. How have you been, Davey? We have Muse, we have Ajay, we have Anna, we have Ami, we have Bipa, we have Rubuno, your color, Dado, we have Esther. Nice, Esther, how have you been? We got John, we have Laksana, Lizzie, Louis, May, Kim, Melissa, Mika. Wow, beautiful people. Nora, Patrick, Robert, just two V's. Awesome. Speak to you guys soon. Happy New Year, guys. For those who celebrate it, we celebrate everything. We celebrate everything. We celebrate Hindu. We celebrate whatever we celebrate. Muslim. We celebrate Christmas. We celebrate New Year. We celebrate many beautiful things as well. Yeah, because we got a lot of diverse friends and we got very diverse students as well. Yeah, cool. But family we can't choose because family, unless you make a diverse family. Awesome, everyone. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.